Welcome back. Time to answer your questions now. And first up is Carrie, STZ, Constellation Brands.
Sure.
What do you think about it? Chuck in Mississippi wants to know. Do you buy it?
Chuck, I think this is an attractive stock right here. It was a darling of the hedge funds, and then it hit sort of an air pocket. Stock came down tremendously. But here's what it has going for it. It still has great beer franchise. It's got Corona. It's got Modelo. The wine business was in trouble. It's a minor part of the business. They had transportation problems in the quarter. They've solved those. There were glass shortages in the quarter. They've solved those too. And so we think it's attractive here.
All right, Joe. Rick in Omaha with a question for you. Rick, thanks for the question. Long-term outlook for American Express, a stock you own?
Yeah, hopefully a good one. Frustrating if you look at the last quarter. Some of the retail spending on the American Express cards were not what we expected. Stock has risen from 51 back in February of 2016, sits at 104 right now. Yes, the performance has been a little bit frustrating. In my opinion, this should be a 110, 115 stock. I'm going to continue to hold it longer term because I want the financial sector exposure.
Okay, Pete.
Yo.
John in Minneapolis.
Oh, wow. Hey,
Thoughts
now.
on Vale. Vale. You own calls, right?
I do. Here's the interesting thing is this has not produced, Scott. This is, unfortunately, you look at Vale, it's literally sitting on the lows, and that's been a problem. But people are expecting the materials space to start to move at some point, infrastructure, all the rest of that. At some point, I'm owning the calls, but I would not own the stock right now because I think there could be some downside.
Okay, lastly, Josh, we have one for you. Mike in Phoenix. Store. Stock you've talked about a bunch, especially lately, a stock that's hit a 52-week high routinely lately. So what do you do now? Is it still a buy? Let's say if you don't own it here, what do you do?
I'm a buyer. If I don't own it, because it's a REIT, so it's not a trade. If you're buying it, ostensibly you're buying it for the long term. The thing to focus on with REITs is not PE ratio, it's funds from operations and adjusted funds from operations. This is a business that's growing funds from operations at a faster rate than almost any other publicly traded real estate vehicle and has the ability to do so, in my view, into perpetuity. The market opportunity is so big. There are so few other players of scale. They're incredible at what they do. I'm a long-term investor, and I'll tell you when to really buy it, though. Look for these interest rate scares where the 10-year yield spikes up and they whack the utilities, they whack the REITs. They almost don't even pay attention to what's what. They make these big blanket sales of the whole group. That is when you really put on a bigger position. Wait for those moments. They will happen, maybe even soon.